Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. Sorry if the audio is kind of quiet. I'm talking a little bit quieter because it is late and I do not want to wake up my parents. But this is going to be my November mid-month wrap-up. So these are the first 7 books that I read in November. I'm just gonna get into these because I don't have much more to say. The first book that I read in November was What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, and this I gave a 4-star. What If It's Us follows Ben and Arthur as they meet, their paths cross, and then their paths uncross, and them having to find their way back to each other. And it's this very kind of like, if the universe sees them fit, though their paths will cross type thing. Arthur is just in New York for the summer, and Ben is just getting over a breakup, and it's just a very cute and fun contemporary book. It's very sweet and very wholesome, and it was a really fun read. There is going to be a sequel for this, so I am excited to see how that's going to go whenever it comes out. I think it's supposed to be 2021. I could be wrong. The next 2 books I'm going to talk about together because they're from the same series. So first we have A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and I gave this a 4.5 stars. And then we have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and this I gave a 5 stars. A Court of Thorn and Roses, we follow a girl named Feyre who lives in a little village, and she ends up, and she's a hunter. She hunts for food for her family, and one day she kills a wolf that turns out to be a fairy who has shapeshifted. Feyre ends up needing to have a punishment, which is to go into the fairylands for the rest of her life or die. She chooses to go to the fairylands to live out her life, and she ends up at this high phase estate, and we go from there. I did really enjoy this book. This was a reread. I read this series in March, and I'm doing a reread. A Court of Thorn and Roses I liked. I do like Feyre as a main character in this, but I'm now gonna get on to I'm now gonna talk more about Court of Mist and Fury because this is one of my all-time favorite books. This is for a second there I thought I was holding it upside down. This is one of my favorite books. I absolutely love all of the romance in this, and I just love Feyre so much in this. Try to figure out what I can say. I absolutely love chapter 42, chapter 48, and chapter 55. If you've read the book, you know what chapters I'm talking about. I absolutely love those chapters. Overall, this is, I think, maybe my second favorite book of all time, and probably my favorite book that I've read this year. And currently I'm reading the 3rd book in the series, but I just love this book so much and could talk about it for hours. Next we have The Fascinators by Andrew Eliopoulos, and this I give a 3-star. Follow a boy named Sam who him and his 2 best friends are part of this magic club at their school. In our world, magic is something that people have, and some use it, some don't. It's a very loose magic system. But after Sam's friend James gets himself tied up with some people that aren't very good people, the story goes from there, and nothing stood out to me about this. Nothing really had me saying, this is a great book, this is like, here are the good things. I couldn't really say what's good, what's bad. I did kind of like Sam as a character, and I did like one of our like side characters named Denver, but I really don't remember that much. I don't have anything good or bad to say, it's just okay. Next we have The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee. And this is the second book in the Montague siblings series, the first one being A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. But in A Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, we follow Felicity Montague, who is a girl in the 1700s. And all she wants to do is become a doctor, and that is like her life goal. But because she is a woman, that it's not easy. So we follow her trying to fight for her right to be a doctor and to be trained, and during that she ends up finding herself on a journey that she never thought she'd be on when she started this. We end up having pirates, and it's very, just because Felicity's a girl doesn't mean she can't do all these things. And I love this book. I gave it 4 stars because nothing was really like really stand out, but I did like how there was the really big topic of like feminism and all of that, and I love all of the research that Mackenzie Lee put into this, and I just like this series. It's the only historical fiction like series that I read, and I'm excited for the 3rd one to come out in April, I think it is. I'm not sure. Next we have She's With Me by Jessica Consolo, and this we follow a girl named Amelia Collins who moves to a new city, and her goal is to just lie low, not meet any friends, just get her senior year done without having to move. But all of that ends up changing when she ends up becoming friends with this boy named Aiden, and then his friends, and when Aiden's ex, Caitlin, kind of starts causing some drama, everything that Amelia wanted doesn't end up happening, kind of. But this book I gave 4 stars. This was originally a Wattpad book that I read in 2018, and I loved it. So it being published and all of that, it's what it deserves. I love this. I might do an entire review talking about this and going into in-depth and spoilers, but it's a fun, quick contemporary. It's like 300 pages, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to read the 2nd one in the series, Stay With Me, which I have a e-arc of that I plan on reading probably within like the next week or 2, because it gets released December 1st. And then finally we have The Lost Prince of Kadaira. I do not know if I'm pronouncing that correctly because there's no pronunciation guide or anything in the story. But The Lost Prince of Kadaira, we follow a girl named Eliza, who when she was 5 years old, she went through a portal from the magical world of Kadira to the mortal world of New Orleans. 12 years later, she is summoned by the king of Kadira to do a mission, like to do a task, which is to find the lost prince who went missing 20 years prior. And the reason why Eliza is chosen for this task is because she has like necromancy magic. That is something that is very rare and very not good, I guess. So Eliza ends up trying to find the lost prince with the help of a commander named Brandon Thorne, and all of that. On the journey, she ends up meeting more people, and I don't know what else to say without spoilers, but this is a 4-star, but it's like a 4 that like it was almost a 4.5. But the world of Kadira is very cool. It's very immersive. You feel like you're in a magical world. The magic itself is very confusing and complex, but it's just because the way that you're described the magic is like you're learning it as Eliza's learning it, and Eliza doesn't know much about the world because she left when she was 5. She doesn't remember the world, so she's thrust into the world having no idea, and a lot of information is kept from her. Also, there's a thing that I want to say that, like, I should have trusted my gut with an instinct. My gut was saying, there's a character that my gut was saying, do not trust this character. But, like, part of me was like, but they're so sweet and they seem so kind. Like, why, like, there's no way they have ill intent. I should have trusted my gut. I want to say more. I might do an entire review on this because, like, I want to say things about spoilers, but, like, I am genuinely excited to see where the next book goes. Like, I need it now because I just need it now because of the ending, how, like, I just need it now, and I'm so excited for whenever it comes out. I don't know when it comes out. I might have to figure that out. I honestly don't know what when it comes out, but I'm excited for it. So those were the first 7 books that I read this month. If you want to see what I read for the rest of the month, subscribe. I always do a end of month wrap up that goes through stats and then the books that I read from the remaining days of the month. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!